What happens if two parents are accused of domestic violence? What happens when it comes to domestic violence and the impact it has on child custody issues? So when it comes to domestic violence, it should have an impact on child custody issues because it can have a serious effect on the child. So here we can turn to Massachusetts family law, and where it says if there's a history of domestic violence and custody disputes, that would be considered to be a huge factor that would be deemed as relevant. And then we can look at Massachusetts General Law 208, Section 31, where it states that the court has to consider all facts that are deemed as relevant if there is any member of a particular family that is a perpetrator of domestic violence when it comes to figuring out what's the best interest of the child. So here you can see the courts of Massachusetts have to consider everything when it comes to domestic violence, who the perpetrator is, what's the best interest of the child, and overall they have to consider domestic violence a huge factor because it's a serious thing that can have a serious impact on a child. So the next thing we can move on to is criminal activity and DUI charges. What happens if there's a history of DUI on a parent's record or a parent gets a DUI charge? So when it comes to that, that should have an impact depending on the circumstances when it comes to determining custody of a child. So when it comes to a DUI conviction, that can be something that's very serious. And a guy, Matt Allen, he says that a DUI is really not a deal breaker. He states that if you have a DUI, it could be used against you to test the moral fit of a parent. So that's one big thing right there. He also states that attorney Aaron Brockoff states that while it can be used against you, at the same time, if a conviction was in the past, say a long time ago, chances of it being an issue and having an impact in determining custody of a child can be very minimal, to say the least. Matt Allen also states that Aaron Brockoff says that if there's no history of alcohol or drugs and you cooperate by the rules of your DUI charge, then that also can make it less of an impact when it comes to determining custody of a child. But here, again, the court is going to consider all factors of this. But that's just a little sample of it right there for you. And with everything I stated here today, from DUI charge to domestic violence to incarceration to a simple drug charge, you can see the level of severity of what can happen between all of them, and you can see one may be not as bad or one might be worse. It all depends. It's all factors that depend on who gets custody of the child, and again, it goes to what's the best interest of the child. So I hope this video today was very informational for all my viewers and as well as my client. I hope I answer all the questions. Hope everyone has a wonderful day. Thank you.